Hi guys, welcome to Radical Academy. And in this video, we are going to be able to solve these questions, and this is coming from inequalities. So if you're new to my channel, remember to subscribe wherever you're watching from. It might be Facebook, YouTube, as well as TikTok. Just remember to follow me for more information. So how can we go about solving these kind of mathematics expression? So this is what we call inequalities. So we have to understand what is inequality. Now, before we could actually solve these questions, we have to look at each one of them has got what is called an inequality symbol. So we have this one, and this one. So we are going to look at how we are going to be able to solve them and see how we can be able to handle each of those signs. So we have this one. So now when you look at this one, which is 2x minus 1 is greater than 5. So each time you are reading of an equality equation or an inequation, okay? So you have to start from left going to right, okay? So this implies that you read this as greater than, okay? Not the other way around, okay? So how do you solve this one? Now the first thing that you do is you have to change this one just into an equal sign. And if you want, okay, you can change, but the easiest for you, I just want you to understand what that means. So we have 2x minus 1 equals to 5. Now, when we change it to an equal sign, because inequality or inequation comes from the word equations, okay? So when you look at this one, 2x minus 1 equals 5. So this becomes a very straightforward and simple equation. Okay, so we can now solve this one by saying 2x, and then this one goes to the other side, okay? It is negative, becomes positive, plus 1. So you have to be very careful when it comes to the signs and just how you when you change whatever number crosses over the equal sign, okay, either from the left or from the right, okay. So this is 2x equals to 6. Now once you have this, then you can just divide both sides. Okay, so what do you have now? X, okay. So what you have is x, 2 into 6, just 3. Now, because when we are solving, we changed the inequality symbol to the equal sign, or to the equal sign. So this means that we can just put back the symbol. So this is going to be x is greater than 3. So this is how easy you can go about solving this kind of a challenge under inequalities. So remember to really understand, if you want to know how to go about solving these kind of mathematical expressions. So now, it's kind of easy, but the most important thing in mathematics, what you have to understand is that we have to be able to practice in order for us to improve in terms of understanding, okay? The more we practice, the more we become good at that thing, and becomes very easy and just straightforward. So now let's move on to number 2. So now, because now you understand now how we have actually arrived at this answer. Now on question 2, we are not going to put the equal sign, but we're just going to carry the way it is, okay? Okay. Okay, so now on B, we have 5 minus minus 3x is less than 1. So again, when you look at question B, it's 5 minus 3x is less than or equal to 1. Okay. So when you are reading, remember, we always start from left going to the right. Okay. Now, what do you do? When you look at 5 and 1, these are like terms, so we can put these right terms together. Okay. So we are going to take this to the other side. Now, the most important thing, what I've just done is that I've actually kept the negative 3x on the left side because it is actually having the x in it as the term of x. And then just maintain the symbol, okay? And I took this 5 to the other side, okay? It is positive and then becomes negative, okay? So from there now, we have negative 3x, this. Now this is going to become negative 4. Now once you reach at this point, then we have now to just get rid of the coefficient of x, which is negative 3. So we are going to divide both sides by negative 3, okay, on both sides. Now the moment we do that, okay, we have to, there is an exception to this, that if the coefficient of x is a negative number, then the moment we change from negative to positive, okay, this implies that the sign also, the inequality sign, changes as well. So this, so now this is going to become x, and then we flip this one. Okay. So now you can see that the symbol has actually been flipped. Okay. So it is actually very important for you to understand that the moment you are changing the coefficient of whatever variable is there, it might be y, it might be a, b, whatever variable that you have, as long as you are dealing with any equation or inequalities, okay, that deals with symbols like greater than, less than, and also greater than or equal to. So the moment you just change from that being negative to positive, then you also change the inequality symbol. Okay, and this is what you have just done. Okay, and therefore this is our final answer. So x is greater than this. Now, these are the questions that you have to know, okay? Before you get to the final exam, these are the questions that we need to know so that the exams can become easy and simple and straightforward. So make sure that you do understand the concept behind inequalities. Of course, I have some other videos that can help you to understand even more about the inequalities and equation, and these are normally based off on linear programming. So you can go on my YouTube channel, which is this Radical Academy, and check those videos out, and then you can gain some information so that you can also be able to have a clear understanding of what that implies. So now, let us now go to the final question. Now, when you look at this one, so what you have now is a bit of just a little bit complex, okay? Because that one isn't actually direct. So we have to sort of expand the brackets and then collect the like terms and so on. So the question on C, okay? So on C, it says 2 open bracket x plus 1 close bracket is greater, okay, than x minus 7. Okay. So now you can see that you have one variable, but it is appearing on both sides of the equation. Okay. So before this symbol, this is the left side of the equation, and after the symbol, that is the right side of the equation. So you can see that we have two x's, okay? And we have to find means and ways to put the x together, okay? So the step number one is remove the bracket, expand the brackets, okay? So you're going to say this times this is 2x, this times that, plus 2 is greater than x minus this. So now what we have just done is this, we have just expanded now to open the bracket so that we can now see what we can do from there. So we know that 2 and 7, they are both integers, they are both numbers. So we have to put them together, okay? So this 2x and this x, okay? We have also to put the x together. So the x is going to actually come to the left-hand side of this equation. And since it is positive, so it's going to change from being positive to being negative. So minus x is greater than, and this one goes to the other side. So negative, this is 7, this one goes there. So you can see now clearly again what we have just done is that 2 goes to the right, there is a positive becomes negative. So you can see minus 2, and the 7, negative 7 hasn't moved to any part of the side or any side of the equation. So it is just the way it is, negative 7. So now what you're saying, 2x minus x, so it's sort of like you're just saying 2 minus 1, just going to be 1. But since that 1 implies that that is the x, okay? So this will be x. And now, when you have same signs, negative, negative, what you're just doing is you are adding the two numbers, and then obviously the sign of the bigger number, okay? So this is going to be negative now. Okay. Now you can see that this is straightforward because we have not changed the symbol. Okay. And the reason is that because the x is just still positive, but if the coefficient rather in front of the x had a negative sign, would have actually flipped the sign. Okay, the inequality sign. So this is how you can solve this equation. This is how you can solve this equation. So thank you so much. Remember to subscribe, like for more of these videos. You can check out my YouTube channel as well as my TikTok channel. And wherever you're watching me from, please support me by just following and liking and subscribing. So thank you. This is a Radical Academy, and I'll see you in the next video.